Hello, my name is Amanda Frank. I am 31 years old. Um, I was bought as a baby, which I now am learning that it's human trafficking. I didn't know all of these things. I know that that sounds really ignorant, but like growing up in a Romani, Gypsy, in the culture, whatever it is, I see it now as a cult. Um, we wasn't told these types of things, or we wasn't allowed to really watch the news a lot or stuff like that, because we would find out things that normal people did, and the things that like our parents did and our families did were not normal. um so yeah, I was bought as a baby, sold in a hospital in California. um I've tried to get my birth certificate from them and my documentation from them and everything, and they say that they do not know anything. They do not know anything about the woman that gave birth to me. They just know that she was a Hispanic lady that they called Betty. They don't even know her name, apparently. So she needed money for her other kids, and they they said, "Hey, we want a baby, so we're gonna give you money for it." And they did. They gave them a lot of money for me, and they took me, they raised me, but I wasn't given basic like human rights, like healthcare, medical, or that everything comes with having your documentation and your paperwork. Like I left 3 years ago. I'm sorry if my head is a little bit discombobulated. There's a lot, and I don't know really where to start, so I'm trying to just start with um, like my like backstory, I guess. So they, they didn't want to give me my paperwork. I've tried to get it from them. They don't want to. They don't want to help me with it. They don't want to do anything. They say that, because I left their cult, or whatever they want to call it, that I have no more ties to them. They disowned me. They whatever. They told me that, the last time I talked to my dad, which the man that bought me, he told me that I was dead to him. And because I called him to ask him for help, because I did go to a gypsy doctor in Sugarland, right? And Sugarland, Texas. Um, I'll tell you the name of that too if you want. I don't really care about these things anymore, because I do want these people to kind of. I don't want them to hide in the shadows anymore, because that's what it seems like they're doing. They hide in the shadows, and they do all of these terrible things like trafficking children, rape. In some cases, they burn down people's houses because they don't agree to pay for their daughters and stuff like that. Because in the gypsy community, when a girl gets married, she is paid for, because of her virginity. So if the girl is a virgin, she gets, her father will get a big sum. Her father mother will get a big sum of money. If she's not a virgin, they will send her back, or they will, give a lesser amount because that girl has been tainted. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very discombobulated. My brain is going in so many different things that I want to share. Um, so I've been trying to also. Um, I was a part of a Reddit group, and I started sharing my story. And I started, actually, it was amazing. I started sharing my story in a Jehovah's Witness Reddit group, actually, because my partner is an ex Jehovah's Witness. And I was trying to learn more about him, because he's not very open because of the Jehovah's Witness past. And I was trying to like understand more about him. And one day I was like, can I share my story in here? And I shared my story in there. And then so many people like were like, they responded well to it, which I didn't think they would respond well to it. I never think anybody's going to respond well to like my story. I'm sorry, I really want to cry, and I'm going to try not to. But I don't think that like I never seem to think, because I guess I was put down a lot as a child, I don't seem to think that people will ever respond well to my story. And they responded really, really well. And they all, like, I got so many comments of people telling me, like, to get in touch with you. And I had never watched anything. This was like, I'm going to say about a year ago. I'd never watched anything from you before because I'd never looked into like anything with cults and with stuff like that. So um, when I seen this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like check her out. And they was all like, you need to talk to her. You need to talk to her. So I don't know if I've been creepy, but I've been like, I leave comments on a lot of your guys' videos. I think I've sent in requests and stuff. I would really like somebody to bring light to this world because it's really, really bad, right? And it seems like nobody seems to understand that. Anytime I talk to them about like Romani American gypsies, they're like, well, they're just travelers. They don't do anything. They don't really have a specific religion or anything like that. And I'm like, but I was like, I lived it. I lived it. I have people that have told me if I ever come out to like talk about it, like they'll back me, like they will back me and stuff. Like, so I'm like, okay, you've never lived this life, so you can't tell me that you think that it's not real, right? Because that's what people tell me. People tell me that they don't think that this is real. This is not really happening in America. But that's what I'm trying to like bring to light is that these really, really bad things are happening every single day. Last weekend, people were openly talking on Instagram about buying and selling babies, like in the US. And I'm like, I was baffled. And I screenshot it all. My partner was like, why do you keep looking into this stuff? Why do you keep digging into deeper holes with like looking for this stuff to save? And I'm like, well, people keep telling me it's false. And these people are openly talking about it on Instagram. And they're openly fighting about how much they want for babies and all of this and how they're going to sell them to them. And I'm like, okay, well, one day, I'm hoping one day, like, somebody will be like, you know what? I want to investigate deeper into this because it's a really bad world. It's a really bad world. And there's a lot of people that I think if they see a Romani gypsy person, like talking and speaking out about these things, maybe they'll open their eyes to like see there's a normal way of life. You don't have to to hurt people. You don't have to steal. You don't have to put people down. You don't have to rape or like steal children. You don't have to do these things. There are very normal ways that you could just live your life and not have all these bad things that you do. And the one thing that always I always remember is because I was a kid that like used to ask a lot of questions, right? And I used to get in trouble for it a lot, but whatever. Um, so they used to tell me this story about how it's allowed for gypsies to steal because we stole the nail from Jesus on the cross. And I used to go, well, wait, wouldn't that be considered like we were really bad people? Because Jesus is this big figure, this big, like, holy, amazing figure that we're learning about and you're teaching us about. But then we stole the nail from the cross. And that's what gives us a right that's what gives all of you guys a right to, like, do what you people do. And I'm just always baffled by that. This is getting really long. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to upload it now and then submit my thing. Thank you. And hopefully, I hope that even if you don't like interview me or want any, like, I hope that you could find somebody that you can interview so these things can like be brought to light because it's really, really bad. It's really bad. So thank you again.